Welcome back to Squawk Box. Take-Two Interactive shares, they are jumping after the company reported quarterly results. They also confirmed the November 19th release date of Grand Theft Auto 6. Joining us right now is Strauss Zelnick, CEO of Take-Two Interactive. Let's talk about the earnings, but I don't know if you think the stock is moving on the earnings or you think the stock is moving because there's a view that this is now finally here or will be here soon ahead of the holidays after, I think it was 2 delays?
Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, look, I think it's all the above. It's all good news, right? And I don't think it's just that we've the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't think it's actually just the earnings. I think it's that the company's firing on all cylinders, that all 3 labels had a great year, and that our outlook is very substantial for the current year. And that we also said, look, this is going to set a new baseline for growth going forward.
So when you look at Grand Theft, how big is the Grand Theft Auto piece of the puzzle of your company?
It depends on the year, obviously, but it's less than you would think. So in a mature market, so we released Grand Theft Auto 5 13 years ago. The actual Grand Theft Auto franchise, I think, is under 15% of total net bookings. Just say 85% comes from the rest of our business. The cost, obviously, in a release year or new release year, it's going to be different.
The cost of producing this game
is high.
Is what?
We haven't announced what the actual cost, but look, we do spend a lot of money on our console and PC titles, and that's because we seek perfection in everything we do. And the entertainment business is a hit-driven business, and what has been established in the interactive entertainment business as it matures is the same thing that's established in every other entertainment business as it matures, which is the only thing that matters to consumers is quality. And hits are the only thing consumers want, and every entertainment business in maturity becomes a top 10 or 20 business. So if you aren't going to invest in the properties, if you aren't going to back your creative talent, you can't play.
How do you know, and how scared are you when you have a hit like, I mean, Grand Theft Auto has been a hit after hit after hit. I don't think there was a dud in there.
That's correct.
Is there one in there that you said to yourself, it didn't hit the way it was supposed to hit?
No, obviously not.
Right. Okay. So, but my question is, I mean, in the film business, people do successive films, and sometimes the first one kills, and the second one's maybe not as good, and sometimes maybe they'll still do a third, but the third will then rocket back or it won't. So, how do you feel about this particular one, given that you now have a date?
Well, let's talk more broadly. I'll answer your question, but more broadly in the interactive entertainment business, the same thing occurs. So if you look at all of our competitors and line it up against us and take a look at our legacy franchises, for the bulk of our competitors' releases, each subsequent release sells fewer units than the release before. Right. Doesn't mean they're not profitable, but you see some kind of decay curve. At Take-Two, all of our franchises, generally speaking, do better than the prior release. Now, that's not true 100% of the time, but it's probably true at our company 85% of the time. Certainly in the case of Grand Theft Auto, that is the situation.
It's a function of
quality, attention to quality, making sure that everything we do pushes the envelope, backs our creative team's vision, reflects the creative teams pursuing their passions, and trying to give consumers something that's even better than what they want and expect.
What is the biggest sales channel for you right now?
It's digital, of course.
It's all digital.
It's not all digital, but it's over 90% digital.
And
although for a big release, physical can be a bigger percentage.
That's where I was going to go. Yeah. So, like this release, where do you think the biggest channel will be?
Oh, I think the biggest channel will still be digital, but there'll be a big physical component.
Are you watching GameStop?
Yeah, but I would suggest they're not trading based on upcoming releases of video games.
I doubt they are, but I was curious. Do you have a take on whether they should own eBay?
Whether they should own, I don't think there's a should in this world. I mean, I think clearly they've made a bid. I think there were some questions raised on this air, in fact, about how the bid would be financed. I think that, that of course is a threshold question. So when we acquired Zynga in 2022, we actually didn't discuss a bid. We announced a transaction, and the transaction had sources and uses, and then a few months later we closed the transaction.
Right. How is you? I mean, Zynga has been a winner for you. When you sort of see the future of gaming right now, is it on this for you, or do you really think it's a console business?
It's both. I think it's big screen and small screen. And I think what will drive big screen being more interesting is not just console generations, which will be coming, of course, not just the growth of PC, which is palpable, and PC now can represent 40 or 50% of what was previously seen as a console release, but streaming. And the big win for streaming, and it hasn't occurred yet in a meaningful way, is bringing console properties to consumers all over the world who don't have the ability to purchase an expensive console or a PC, but they do have a phone because many people have phones. So if the installed base for consoles is, call it 150 million for a current generation, it's not quite there. The installed base for PCs is over a billion. The installed base for mobile phones, smartphones, is vastly higher. And the issue with regard to streaming technology for us is latency. However, I believe that will be addressed technically in the next couple of years, and that should vastly expand our overall market.
And you think that the latency issue gets solved by satellites, by fiber, by what? Well,
first of all, by there are companies working on this now. Edge networks, for example, in this country would meaningfully address that. But the answer is sure, all of the above. I mean, if you've tried Starlink, it's blazing fast.
Sure. Real quick, AI. And one of the reasons I was even trying to get at the budget of something like GTA 6, I'm assuming over time that the budgets for these big games should come down if you're able to use AI to produce these games. I don't know if that's happened yet.
Look, the history of technology applied to entertainment is it creates efficiencies, but spending increases because the breadth of creative ambition grows at the same time. So technology allows our creative teams to do more, and naturally they want to do more, and consumers demand that you do more. So the offsetting factors. There's really only one entertainment business where technological advances actually reduce production costs, and that's recorded music. And indeed, that has happened. Look, if we can reduce costs, we have a three-part strategy. Be the most creative, be the most innovative, be the most efficient. We're all in on efficiency, but you know what matters? Creativity and quality. Consumers don't ask how much it costs. They want to know how great it is.
Creative question, though.
Please.
Right now, depending on the path you take in one of these games, it's somewhat preordained, meaning it's not that there's I don't think, you tell me, it's not that there's AI. I mean, you have machine learning, obviously, involved. But could you imagine that the games could take on a complete and utter life of their own in the future if there's an LLM that's effectively powering it?
It's a great question. It's actually an answer more than a question, Andrew, and it's a good answer. Right now, everything we do is programmed, and it's a tree and branch system, and it's very big, very, very big, especially in a big game. And yes, you could imagine a situation where you create rails, and then within the rails, you have AI creating more engagement on the fly. That's being tested. I won't say where. It's pretty interesting, and it's exciting because that's an example of technology allowing our creative teams to do something that's new and interesting that consumers should love.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to all of it. We appreciate it. Strauss Zelnick, thank you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
When we come back, Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith in Washington, D.C. We're coming right